battery is fully charged, we're up to 100%, and it is pitch black. We're going to try our second attempt at England, and we are going to go through Uzhgud, and we're going to go through Slovakia, and from Slovakia we are going to go into Hungary through Budapest, then into Austria, and then Austria into Germany, then into Belgium, and then into France. So join me on the trip. 5 hours of travelling. We're at our first charging stop, a go to you, and we're up 76, 80, 89, 93 kilowatt. So for people who say you can't do long trips in a Tesla, so it is 9:09 in the morning and I started at 4:30. So in another like 20 minutes I'd have been travelling for 5 hours, and I started at 100% and I still had 20% left. So still like probably 100 odd kilometres left on charge. So I'm at my first charge now and it's charging back up, and my next stop I'm going to go to is Kosiv in Slovakia. So I've not mistaken, this is one of the buildings that was hit by a cruise missile. Jesus. Hopefully you're going to see it in a minute. When we go around the corner you should be. That's it there. Wow, holy cow. I've arrived at the border. It is 10:21. Yeah, we'll see how long it takes to go through. So currently on the Ukrainian side of the border. Got me tickets and information, just need to go through the border checks. Finally, what a drama going through Ukrainian border because of an old car I had that was actually sold in England, but they still think it's registered in Ukraine. Bizarre. 3 hours worth, or 3.5 hours worth, and another hour on the Slovakian border. Strip everything out of the car, literally everything, and check everything on there. But here I am, I'm now in Slovakia on my way to Kosiv.
In 200 meters, turn right to stay on E50.
And there you go. Currently in Kosiv, a Tesla supercharger, and we're doing 95 kilowatts. So roads in Slovakia, lots of mountains in the background, but very dead straight roads. Not keen on Slovakia, to be honest. Not my favourite. We're currently supercharging in a place in Hungary called Miskolc. Got another 10 minutes to go here, and then we are heading to I'm not even going to try and say that. Miklos. And then we're going to Parndorf in Austria.
Now take the E71 exit on the left.
So the time is 9 minutes past 12 and I'm now in Austria. Pretty little fairy lights everywhere. So the Tesla's picking up on this. There's like multiple lines here in the road and it's actually picked up the car in front and it's picking up the yellow lines rather than the white lines. It's staying within them on the auto drive, which is pretty cool considering it's just AP1. Tesla superchargers in Austria. Nice little area there. These little Tesla stops. You charge the car. Loads of coffees and a little bistro shop. I've officially, in 28 minutes, I've been officially going for 24 hours. I'll say it every time I do this. This journey to England is a mammoth journey. Early morning, rise and shine. Now it's 6:57 in the morning. Morning campers. So, bit of a rough night, as in not much sleep. Probably had a couple of hours sleep and a rest on when we was doing the charges. But last charge, very convenient actually. They have nice little shops and coffee shops in Austria. Austria? I've even forgot where I am. I think it's Austria, yeah, Vienna. Yeah, lovely strong coffee to wake me up in the morning, so all good. Yeah, charged up on 93%, down to 89, and got 2 hours 32 minutes and 267 kilometers to our next supercharger in Altdorf in Germany. Not much to show really, kind of boring these trips, but hey, people turn around and say you can't do long trips in a Tesla, and I say you can. Really foggy this morning. It's 8:15 and all we've had is fog all morning. Can't see it so much there, but in a minute we've been over a couple of bridges and stuff like that. It's very, very foggy. Very foggy. How many Tesla superchargers are here? So how quiet is a Tesla Model S 2016 one? Not sure if they've upgraded the newer ones or not, but the doors cards are obviously different. They've got pockets in there. So I've got no microphone. I'm talking at a normal level, just off of my phone, and we are doing 120 kilometers an hour or 75 miles per hour. And yeah, I don't have to talk loud. It's actually very quiet in it. It's very comfortable. So hopefully you can hear that coming out on the video. So I made it, finally here in the UK, just doing my Tesla supercharger in Dover. 11 degrees outside. It's a bit chilly, but a lot better than Ukraine at the moment. I think it's about 5 degrees, and it's actually, my wife just messaged me and said it's really, really bad and raining a lot. So not very good for her, but okay for me here, I suppose. I don't know, these superchargers here seem to be going ever so slow. I don't know if it's because it's cold, but yeah, it's charging at 48 kilowatt, and like every other trip, well, all the other stops that I've done across Europe, it ramps right the way up to like 90, 80, 70 normally is the lowest I've had so far on this whole journey. Just going to some of the stats. So the trip from where I live in Ukraine to here is a total of 1,514 miles, and I've used 409 kilowatt hours, and I've averaged 270 watt hours a mile. I don't normally do it in watt hours a mile, I normally do it in kilometers and stuff. So I don't know, let me know in the comments, is that any good? So excuse the noise, traffic going past. So I'm actually sat in a Tesco's, a big massive Tesco's car park, as you can see, in England. So the total journey was 1,659 miles, and I used 450 kilowatts total energy, and average was 271 watt hours a mile. That is, if I change that to kilowatts, or kilometers should I say, that works 2,670 kilometers, 450 kilowatt hours, and 169 watt hours a kilometer, which I actually think is quite good. The actual journey itself, and this sounds horrendous, and it pretty is actually. So the journey itself, I left on Sunday at 4:30 in the morning, and I got to where I wanted to be in Portsmouth about 11 o'clock-ish. So that actually works out 54 and a half hours. That includes obviously the border crossings, which I was there for 4 hours. That includes the ferry, which is an hour and a bit, hour and 10 minutes, something like that. But it is a horrific journey. It really is horrific. You've definitely got to be prepared for it. And Tesla definitely helps me, because it's just, I could be driving for like 5-6 hours and it will just be on autopilot most of the time. So just with me holding the steering wheel, make sure everything goes all right. Here I am. I've had a nice time with some friends, been out on a couple of nights out, drinks, done lots of stuff, walking around, bought loads of bits, had a massive mammoth journey around the bottom of the south of the country, finding bits for my wife that she'd been looking on Facebook Marketplace. And I have decided, because it's cheaper, I'm going to get the ferry going back tonight, so it's Saturday night. So yeah, mammoth journey. So far I have done 2,094 miles, and I've used 582 kilowatt hours and an average energy of 278 watt hours a mile. So I'm going to get the ferry late tonight. If I can get on the early one and pay a little bit extra, I might do, but if not, 12:20, and we're over into France, and here we go again. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the trip.